Okay, what's up, y'all? This is Sky Santana, aka Aubrey. Aubrey, aka Sky Santana, child. If you're watching this from the Sky Santana channel, welcome. If you're watching this from Aladdin Souls, bitch, why you still there? Okay. For those of y'all that's confused, I am now an astrologer. Okay. I have a spirituality channel called Aligning Souls where I, for the last 2 years, have been putting up Zodiac videos and things like that and doing spiritual content. But at some point, I may merge the two channels. At some point, I may not. I still am up in the air. So from now on, what I'm going to be doing is uh, premiering videos on both channels, okay? Until I figure out exactly what the fuck I'm doing, because I don't know if I'm gonna blend the channels. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it separate. I don't know. But what I do know is that doing tarot videos in the way that I was doing it the last few years, I'm kind of over that, and I'm kind of rebranding. You know what I mean? Diving deeper into astrology, okay? So for those that have not caught the Venus in retrograde videos that I put out a couple of weeks ago, I'll say this. Tarot tells you what is going on, whereas astrology gives you a deeper meaning, right? It gives you more depth, right? It gives you more of the picture. And that's what I'm all about. I love a good mystery, but not when it comes to my fucking life and not when it comes to this shit, okay? So the deeper that we could get, the more clarity that we could get, the better, okay? So now that we got the pleasantries out of the way, let's get into the fucking bullshit that is coming up. Mercury fucking retrograde in Libra, right? Listen, everybody and their mama knows about a Mercury retrograde. Like, you hear people say it all the time. Oh my God, my ex is gonna come back, or oh my God, my phone is gonna die, and like all of these cliche things that, yeah, while it does happen, a lot of people tend to become fake astrologers during this time. Fake astrologers during this time, and this is when everybody suddenly is into astrology, and you have people with all of these quotes and different things, and a lot of it is fucking surface bullshit. A lot of it is, okay? And I'm not here to sugarcoat shit for you guys. I'm gonna keep it real with you. These next few weeks are gonna be rough. They're gonna be weird. They're gonna be rocky. Secrets are gonna come out. Things are gonna get exposed. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be pretty. You're gonna notice things happening on a collective level, probably within the media and within different news outlets and on social media and things like that. But definitely on a soul collective level. Now, we're at a point where, and especially if you've been following me for the last 2 years, you have heard me say several times, get on your shit before shit gets on you. If you're not at the right career, you need to be. If you're not in the right relationship, you need to get out and get into one. Or like all of these things that you have heard me say the last 2 years. And now we're finally coming to a point where these things are coming to head, right? And I heard another light worker actually put it into better perspective. And the analogy that they used was that for such a long time, we were in Kansas. We had this view of the world that we, was so used to and so accustomed to, and things have changed. And, ever since then, it's kind of like we've been brought out of Kansas, but transiting, right? Transiting, like feeling like, okay, new life is coming, a new world is coming, but we haven't yet made it to the new world yet. And that's kind of where we've been the last couple of months, is just transiting through the sky. Think of it as like a tornado that comes in and fucks everything up, right? It's like, what's going to stay with you? What's not? What's coming like to Oz with you? Like, that's kind of the energy that we've been in. Now, over these next 3 weeks, you're going to find that, yes, that tornado is picking up. And then by October 17th, we're going to be in Oz. But what is the world going to look like? You know what I mean? Like, what and how are things going to be? That is the question. These next couple of weeks are going to be extremely crucial because Mercury retrogrades are known to be quite heavy, known to be quite chaotic, but this one is definitely going to be even more chaotic because it's going to be in a sign of Libra, a sign that we have not seen in over 7 years. Which is a big fucking deal, especially when you tie in twin flames and love connections and things like that. And let's just go ahead and get deeper into this, okay? If this is your first time with me doing a transit reading, understand This is going to be for the collective as well as all 12 zodiac. I will, once I get through the collective reading, I will go ahead and break it down individually, okay, into the 12 zodiac signs. And I encourage you all to go to my website and book a reading with me, okay? Because just because I'm telling you what's happening on a zodiac collective level does not mean that is exactly how it's going to impact you. Understand, we all have a collective thing that we go through together, and then we have our personal thing that we go through, right? Because how it's hitting you on a collective, just because you're a Taurus sun sign, does not mean that it's going to hit you the same way, as a natal, whatever, right? Okay. So definitely make sure that you're checking your charts to see where Mercury falls, but more importantly, see where Libra falls in your chart. That'll definitely help you figure out more accurately, exactly how you're going to be affected. But again, that's why the fuck I'm here. Go book a reading. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into this with the textbook definitions for the slow bitches in the back. All right. So Mercury retrograde. Right? Mercury is a planet that governs communication, travel, and technology. And when it goes retrograde, aka, appears to be moving backward in the sky, all things Mercury related can be a bit haywire. Now, we've already had 2 Mercury retrogrades this year, with the third and final retrograde beginning on September 27th, which was yesterday, if you're watching this in current time. And that is going to last all the way up until October 18th. This is why I'm saying things are going to be quite weird up until the 18th. And you guys can expect things to happen on a personal level at first for like the first week, and then the last 2 weeks, or, maybe towards the third week, things are going to, let me get through this and you'll better understand. But definitely everything is going to start on a personal level. And you might even see it happening within a collective level first. But yeah, collective, us, the universe, the media, we're all connected. Okay. Everything is connected. And that's why 2020 was so trash, right? Because ultimately, the world as it is today is a reflection of who we've always been. So all of these natural disasters, all of these things going wrong, like these are just simply like you ever had like, how do I put it? Like you ever been drunk and then like went to a sauna and then like all the toxins just came up out of your body, you know what I mean? Like, and now you were drinking the next day and like trying to detox. Like that's what's happening right now. The world is being detoxed inside out. It's happening on a collective level. It's happening on a spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, every single type of level that it can happen, right? And so you guys are, again, definitely going to be witnessing this happening within the world as we've been, throughout all the natural disasters, police brutality, protests, which I also have a couple of messages for as well. I will be putting those out soon. But you're also definitely more than likely going to feel this on a soul level as well, right? But back to this. So far this year, we've made it through a mentally exhausting retrograde in Aquarius and a chaotic, gossip-loving retrograde in Gemini. But this time, we might be catching a bit of a break, okay? Because from yesterday up until October 18th, Mercury is going to be doing its backward stance in Libra, okay? Which is a sign that's known for being peaceful and harmonious and relationship oriented, right? Now, Libra is ruled by Venus, which is the planet of love and affection. And as a result, our social lives will be the start of this retrograde. This is going to be a transit where we will deepen the need to recalibrate our most important relationships, which was a theme that has been going on since Libra season has started on the 22nd. So retrogrades, they tend to be opportunities to reflect on certain areas of our life. And since Libra is the sign of one-on-one partnerships, Mercury retrograde will have us revise, review, and rethink how we are relating to one another as a way to find more balance and fairness within our most important relationships, right? So during this transit, you're going to be asked to consider how you relate to all of the people in your life, okay? Not just the one you're in a relationship with or the one that you're interested in dating, but this includes romantic partners, friends, family, even your coworkers, and how you can make these methods of communication and these forms of communication more harmonious, right? But keep in mind, we also do still have Venus and Scorpio, okay, which is challenging our relationships, okay? You're not wanting anything that's surface level. You're wanting to go deeper, right? See, the thing with Libra energy is that it's very much water under the bridge. You know what I mean? Very much water under the bridge. What works, what doesn't work, how we can get everything to a place where it does work, right? So as Mercury is entering retrograde, is also going to be locked in a square with transformative Pluto, right? So for those of you guys that don't know what that means, anytime two planets square off against each other, it's kind of like they're in a debate, like a heated debate. They're fighting off against one another. And Mercury is the planet of logic, and Pluto is the planet of life and death, rebirth, right? So while having Mercury being retrograde and is locked in a square with transformative Pluto, this is going to expose a lot of existing relationship patterns that are up for renewal, right? Who are these motherfuckers that you need to cut off? Who has been in your life that you have been wanting to release for the longest time, but you just hadn't had enough information or enough leeway or enough time to be able to do so? Now is not going to be a time where you're going to be able to avoid that. Like now, anybody or anything that is in your life that you should have cut off the last 2 years when I told you to cut it off, now is the fucking time where that is going to happen and is going to be up for renewal. So ultimately, let's keep it a fucking buck. Those motherfuckers that have done the work over the last 2 years, you guys are going to have it easier than everybody else because you've already fucking done the work. Everybody else who has not done the work, if you're still in a shitty ass relationship with a toxic motherfucker that's beating your ass, guess what? Guess what? He probably going to beat your ass this time. You damn near going to die. So you realize I have to get out. Or if you're still at a fucking job that you fucking hate, you're probably going to get scheduled to work 30 days straight before you fucking realize, damn, I got to get out. Like the Tower moment is about to hit, especially with Pluto going on. And then Chiron all up in the mix somewhere in here. Like this is not about to be pretty. I know for me personally, you know, where I'm being affected, which is in my 9th house, and also, to keep in mind, I'm a light worker, I'm psychic, I'm a healer, all of that, right? So I tend to go through transits a lot earlier than you guys do. And I was even up, you know, frustrated and upset and worried, like, oh my God, what the fuck am I about to go through? You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like I'm exempt, you know, I mean, I'm still human, you know, and if anything, I just go through shit earlier. And so basically, long story short, a lot of what I'm doing now and the changes that I need to make, I've already made. And that is my point, right? Go along with the flow during this time period. Now it's not the time for you to fight back or, I mean, it's never a good time for you to fight back against the universe because the universe is always going to win. You know what I mean? Like life is here for you. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. So just go with the flow and you're going to be fine. Right? So right now, you're going to feel the need to reshape the way that you interpret and the way that you communicate information, and therefore transform how you express your needs with your partners, your bosses, other important people in your life. And for the next month, it's going to be crucial for you to really take the time to think about how you've been communicating with the people in your life. Is it productive? Is it respectful? Is it efficient? Also, think about how you want to be communicated with, right? Like, do you want your boss to give it to you straight to the point? Or would you much rather receive, you know, sweet little positive feedback wrapped up in a bow? Like, think about that. Think about that and then let them know. But I would probably wait until October 18th just because, you know, you don't want anything getting misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how that shit go. It's Mercury Retrograde, bitch. Okay? But listen, there's also extra incentives to take advantage of this period of reflection, right? Because we have Pluto and Chiron, okay? So you can expect to see a lot of healing and you can expect to experience personally a lot of healing and a lot of transformation around these matters, particularly about exes and frenemies of the past who are resurfacing. Okay, so yes, this is a time where your ex is going to show up and knock on your door. This is a time where you know, you may get a call from your ex, or maybe for those of you guys that have not dealt with ex issues, it'll come up. Like I know a lot of people that are in twin flame situations right now, and for those of you guys that are listening and you're in a twin flame dynamic, now is a time where karmic energy is going to be off the fucking wire. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be off the fucking wire, especially for your divine masculine. It's going to be off the fucking wire. It's going to have to come up to be let out. And that's just what it is. In order to move on, first we have to dive deep, figure out what the issue is, bring it up, face it, to be able to push it out. And that's just what the fuck it is. So especially for those divine feminines and masculines out there, this is not going to be an easy time. It's not. You know, but like I said, this is a Mercury retrograde, okay? So you should expect communication mishaps, okay? From October 5th to October 10th, Mercury is going to be meeting with Mars, which could trigger intense exchanges with our nearest and dearest, okay? So we must be careful with what it is that we say, and most importantly, how we say it, right? When Mars and Mercury meet, words can feel like weapons, and around this time, we could really say something that later on we could regret. So, word of advice, just shut the fuck up. think before you speak, okay? Because retrograde or not, that's something that you need to be doing anyways, okay? And the best way to prepare for all of this is to just take it easy, okay? Like, honestly, at the end of the day, retrogrades are here for us to slow the fuck down, okay? To slow the fuck down, okay? So before we go ahead and get into the actual zodiac signs, I'm going to reiterate it for you guys, okay? Some of the themes that are happening with this September 2021 Mercury retrograde, again, it's going to be from September 27th through October 17th, right? The communication planet of Mercury is going to be retrograde in Libra, which is a cardinal sign, a cardinal air sign, right? Also, the most initiative taking out of all the air signs, right? Libras are known for being super social, justice seeking, lovers of balance, beauty, partnership, like everything that comes under the scales, right? Now, people that have Libra in their natal charts, like people that are like Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising, Libra Venus, typically are born mediators who are constantly seeking harmony, avoid conflict, and are wired to tune into both sides of any given story in order to reach an amicable situation. Now, Libras typically have an innate ability to take anything that they perceive as out of whack or aesthetically problematic and make it eye-catching and appealing. And they're designers and couples therapists of the zodiac. You know what I mean? And also, the air sign is also the ruler of the seventh house of and I'm not deleting that, okay? But the air sign is also the ruler of the seventh house of partnership. So pairing romantically, platonically, and professionally is their forte. Like if you think about your house system, the seventh house, it's ruled by Libra, right? So the vibe of Libra is very lighthearted, very personable, ambitious. And while Mercury is in this air sign, we're going to be prioritizing equality, justice, communication within one-on-one relationships. Now, that all sounds fairly productive, but I mean, at the end of the day, we also got to consider Libra does have its pitfalls, which can become mentally challenged or mentally charged, beauty focused, a little, vain, or just insistent on getting the scales balanced. You know what I mean? Because life is all about perspective, right? That's all alignment is. It's about perspective. Like you have the good and you have the bad, And so sometimes too much of Libra energy can be too much water under the bridge. And that's what it's been thus far. Hence why now Mercury is retrograde in Libra. Like it's not going forward in Libra, it's going retrograde in Libra because it's like, okay, what do we have to fix? Okay, where in life have you allowed too much? Okay, where have you needed to stand up to your boss, to your parent, to your boyfriend, to your girlfriend? Okay, where have you needed to add a little bit more self-love? And we've been preparing for this. Even if you think back to the full moons and the new moons over the summer, like this summer had a huge emphasis on love and self-love and putting yourself first, especially with the new moon in Leo, the new moon in Cancer, the new moon in Virgo, like all huge themes of self-love. And so now it's kind of being put to the test, So this Libra season isn't without other challenges that could, deal setbacks, delays, or tense clashes with the people in your orbit. And there's a couple of dates, definitely a couple of dates like October 1st, where Mercury is going to be squaring Pluto, which is going to amplify your desire to shine light on that shadow side of your life. But it's also going to let you lean on coercive tactics. And then you also have like October 17th, which is the day before Mercury goes direct, where the sun is going to clash with Pluto, which is going to bring a lot of attention to control issues, destructive behaviors, power struggles, right? Then we also have a new moon on October 6th in Libra that would usually be okay, but with Mercury retrograde happening in a sign of Libra, miscommunication is going to be even worse, okay? And then you have the moon that's going to be nestling up to aggressive Mars, plus you got this tough angle to rebellious Uranus, so it's going to feel more like a drama-packed and potentially volatile new moon. Just giving you guys a heads up. And of course, around that time, I'm going to be doing readings as well, but I'm just giving you a brief overview of Mercury retrograde and the next 3 to 4 weeks to come, right? But yeah, Mercury retrograde isn't only about quiet solo time. It's also about trying to tie up loose ends in order to have the space to truly plow ahead. So this Mercury retrograde, especially with it being in Libra, this is a wonderful time for you to reconnect with a best friend from the past, to still yourself alongside your soulmate, or to tackle any project you've been putting off, or heal any old wounds within your closest one-on-one relationships. This is about hitting the brake and going in reverse. And this is all for the sake of a smoother trip ahead. Again, water under the bridge, but let's actually fix it this time. You know what I mean? Because too much water under the bridge eventually is going to overcrowd the bridge and overtake the bridge. So yes, let's smooth things over, but in a way to where we're not just patching shit up, but so that we can actually heal, Now let's go ahead and get into it, okay? This is going to be the most intense, okay? This is going to be the most intense Mercury retrograde right now for 3 signs, right? And those 3 signs are Libra, Capricorn, and Gemini. So it's going to be the most intense for Libra because it's happening in your fucking sign. I mean, hello. Okay, so ultimately, this is going to bring about a total rebirth of your purpose, Libras, okay? But you will have to pass through intense experiences of releasing outworn aspects of your identity along the way. And the more that you can clear and purge during the first half of the retrograde, the better you will be able to open more fully to new desires, okay? Now, this is going to be the most challenging for Capricorns, because due to being an earth sign, you can become attached to your routines and resist making changes, major changes, which is what needs to happen right now, Capricorn. So it's going to be vitally important for you to move as fluidly as possible within the currents that will be reshaping your life. In particular, you're going to need to rethink the role that you have been playing in public. Okay? Now, this is going to be the most beneficial time period for Geminis, okay? Mercury retrograde in Libra will form a flowing trine to your sign, Gemini. So this is going to make it a very exciting period for experimenting with new ways to creatively express yourself, but it's also going to allow you to make it a priority to be as inventive as possible, actively seeking out new sources of inspiration to explore, right? Now, let's go ahead and get into the individual zodiac signs. If somebody could be so kind as to write the timestamps down below. As I mentioned, if you're new to this, we just did the collective. We're about to get into the individual zodiac signs. You're going to want to listen for your sun sign and your rising sign, okay? Don't ask me why, bitch. Just do it, okay? Listen for your sun sign and your rising sign. Also, keep in mind, I'm just telling you how it's affecting you on a collective level, zodiac sign wise, but do understand that you still have your natal chart. Okay, so you're going to want to look within your natal chart and see where Libra is placed, what houses is placed in, to also better understand and get a deeper understanding of how you are going to be impacted. Okay, so book a personal reading with me, okay, and we can do a whole reading, baby. Let's get into it. We can do a whole personal reading and get into it and figure out how the fuck your ass about to be impacted on what the fuck about to go down. Okay, bitch, you gonna make it to Oz, or you still gonna be in Kansas? Let's talk about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get deeper into this. Starting off with Aries. Child. Oh, what's going on? Child, not live Arizona. Oh, so it's not going to show? Child, I really thought I done spent all this time doing these things individually only for it not to show. Wow. Okay, listen, it don't matter. Now getting into Aries, sun and rising sign, okay? So, Aries, Messenger Mercury is going to go retrograde through your 7th house of partnership. So, you could very well have an ex or two pop back up out of the blue. I mean, listen, let's get into it, okay? Although it's not necessarily worth reading into, given a tricky, playful, and curious vibe of this transit, you can still have motherfuckers showing up out of the goddamn woodwork, okay? I'm just keeping a buck with y'all, okay? So listen, if you don't want an ex to come back, baby, you better change your number, okay? But they still probably gonna find a way, okay? Because see, that's the thing with the universe. When you got lessons to learn, they're gonna figure it out, okay? So you could block a motherfucker and they're gonna email you, okay? You could throw away your phone, throw it in the river, they're gonna show up at your house, okay? You could say that you moved, baby. They the mailman at your new house. Okay, they already know. Somehow, some way, they're going to get to you, okay? So whatever lessons come up during this time period, just learn them, okay? Just learn them. Just because they're back doesn't mean that you're supposed to be with this person, okay? It does not mean that you're supposed to be with this person. It could literally just be, okay, needing closure or needing to end this off in a certain way or end this for good, because maybe you're about to go into a whole new relationship and this is that stalker ex that the universe already knows is going to try to pop back up and threaten some shit with your new babe, okay? Let's get into it, all right? But listen, more importantly, this is going to be a period that encourages you to reflect on and reassess how you're showing up in your one-on-one relationships, okay? And what other people are bringing to the table as well. So take advantage by talking through any misunderstandings with your significant other, your best friend forever, your business partner, your closest colleague, and just work through unfinished business as a team. Now, let me go ahead and give you a protection message. Okay, Aries. So your protection message for Mercury Retrograde is exchanging gifts. Now, be careful what you pray for because you just might get it. And then you realize you don't want to face the hefty price tag that comes with it. So you may find yourself in a situation that you've always desired, but you know you will have to walk away from or even fail at it because you can't or won't pay the dues that it asks of you. For example, if you want to be famous, you want to be a famous musician, you have to practice your craft every day. If you want to be a multimillionaire, you have to be responsible for managing the money and paying the taxes. Even a windfall bears a cost. So it's okay because spirit will help you achieve balance over time. Now, another message here could be that, being only the giver and not the receiver plays out in many relationships in your life where you find yourself in victim mode, in a codependent dynamic, or holding on to a false sense of control. Others may push you to continue to prove yourself, and a time has come to distance yourself from this kind of imbalance. Being aware of the need for both give and take is the first step to your true destiny. It's all good and getting better. Not only can you handle this, but you can flourish as a result, okay? So Aries, those of you guys that are suffering from codependent dynamics right now, cut it the fuck out. Cut it the fuck out. It's time for you to step up and rise into your own, baby. You're a motherfucking Aries, bitch. You independent for a reason, okay? Independent for a reason, all right? Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah. So, Tauruses, my Tauruses, sun and rising. Hold on. Let me go ahead and write that down. My Taurus, sun and rising. Now, this is going to be happening in your 6th house, okay? Mercury is going to be retrograde in your 6th house of health and routine, okay? Which is going to be nudging you to look at how you've been approaching your everyday hustle, right? So, if you could use a little bit more balance, maybe a little bit more self-care, or most likely more time for connection, for beauty, for romance, and it might be time to rethink your work, okay? Or rework your approach. Like, for example, has your ass been waking up too late every fucking day, okay? Knowing that your ass do not want to do any type of work by the time it gets to like nighttime, like me, okay? Because, bitch, I've been waking up at 4 p.m. every fucking day, knowing that come nighttime, and nighttime is only at 8 p.m., 4 hours later, I'm not going to want to do any work because it's night, okay? And when it gets nighttime, I only think about a couple of things, and that's fucking going to party and drinking, okay? Are you like me and need to change your sleeping schedule so that you can wake up early in the day and get more work done? Okay, because now is the time to do it. Or maybe you're the type that's working too much, and maybe you need to make time for your significant other, or make time for your friends, or make time just for yourself, Maybe you're busting your ass and giving too much to work and you need to take a break. Whatever it is, right now, it may be time to rework your approach, okay? Because your ruler, Venus's other home sign is a host of this retrograde. So you're going to connect with these themes, knowing that, you would totally benefit from more spontaneity, more fun, more time with your friends or your lover, or just simply being off the fucking couch or out of the bed like me. Okay, but we're not going to talk about it. Personal opinions not going to come out. Okay, and you have the green light